Hi, hello everyone. Good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are listening. Today's live broadcast. I want to say thank you once again for joining. I want to appreciate you for your love, for everything. Last week we looked at something very interesting, and I want to appreciate everyone that joined, everyone that watched, everyone that shared, and everyone that shared testimonies. The Lord bless you in Jesus' name. Yeah, so today we are looking at something very interesting again, and I must say that I'm so excited about it. A number of people reached out to me and told me they are really, really interested in this topic because this topic is going to be a very intelligent one. And it's something you really need to understand. I'll be glad if you can share this with people. Some of you may need to download it and share it as MP4, whatever, with your friends. Some of you would need to archive it and so that you can listen to it over and over again. So once again, I want to say thank you. Let us pray. Father, we would once again want to say thank you for another opportunity to be blessed at your feet. Thank you, Daddy, for all the opportunities. Lord, as we go into your word again, Lord, we ask that once again, beyond what can be said and heard, Lord, you will cause your word to become flesh in our hearts and to transform us therein. Thank you, mighty Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Praise the Lord, everyone. So today, like I said, I'm so excited that I have the opportunity to talk about this thing today. We are looking at interesting stages in marriage. We are looking at this interesting topic called the interesting stages in marriage. Now, the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1 to 2 or to 3, says something very interesting. It says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up that which is planted. Now, in life, everything is in stages. And interestingly, the same thing with marriage. Marriage is a journey. Marriage is a journey. Marriage is a journey everybody look forward to. Some people see marriage as a destiny. Well, some people see it as a destination. But really, whichever way you see it, marriage is a journey. Now, people have said this, and it's funny, and it's the truth, that marriage is the only institution you go into where a certificate is issued to you before you write the test or before you go through the course or the institution. They issue the certificate to you and then they tell you to start the journey. And it's such an interesting thing. Another interesting thing about marriage is that you see a lot of people yearning, praying, crying, praying to get in. And then you see a lot of people rushing out. You see a lot of people rushing out of it, and yet more people want to go in. Marriage is very interesting. Marriage is in stages. And then one of the things we are going to look at this afternoon or this evening is has to do with understanding how we respond to different stages we go through in marriage. I love to use the example of this man a lot, Solomon. Now, we all know Solomon wrote three major books in the Bible. He wrote the Proverbs, Song of Solomon, and Ecclesiastes. And then we understand that he wrote each of these books at different stages in his life. At the different stages in his life. Now, the Song of Solomon, he wrote it when he was a young man, probably in his 20s or teenager, when he fell in love with a black woman, and then it was a book about exchange of their love notes, and now they were so much in love. And then he wrote the book of Proverbs when he was a middleman, probably in his 40s, when he was so full of wisdom. And then the book of Ecclesiastes he wrote when he was a dying man, when he was an old man, and he was full of regrets. And you see the different perspectives to, I mean, from this same man to the truth of life. And so is our life, so is our journey as Christians, as believers, and the same thing with marriage. So we are looking at interesting stages in marriage. Now, the topic suggests that there are stages. It's like when we were in primary school. I remember when I was finishing primary six or thereabout, and then some people will come home and visit my parents and be, oh, what class are you? And I'll be like, oh, I'm primary six. I say, you have finished book. You have finished all the book. And we too will be feeling it. Yeah, we finished. It was a lie. They were just teasing us because we went to primary one, primary two, primary three to primary six, and then when you thought you were graduating, then you start afresh somewhere else, and then GS1, GS2, and then you felt, oh, I'm 9 SS3, I finished, and then they take you to another level, say 100 level for one course, and then life happens, strike here, this one, that one, and when you feel, oh, I'm done, they say, now you have to go for service, and then after service, say, oh, I'm done, they say you have to go for masters. The same way with marriage, marriage is in stages. But let's quickly look at these two facts. Brother, I must tell you that you pardon me if I'm rushing a bit. I will try to talk as slowly as possible, but this is a topic that normally should take us nothing less than 2 hours, and I'm not exaggerating. And I want to try under God to say we can package it into 30 minutes, and that is why I want to implore you, please, if you can download this, if you can download it, if you can turn it to MP4 so that you can listen to it over and over and over again. Now, let's quickly look at a few facts about marriage and about stages in marriage. Number one is that every marriage or relationship goes through stages. You see, what we want to look at today can also be applied to relationship. People are not yet married. The stages marriages go through are usually the same stages relationship goes through. The only difference is that there are things we do in marriage that we don't do in relationship as children of God. Number two is that going through each stage cannot be prayed off. You see, what I want to share with you today, you cannot pray it off. They are not curses. They are not like, oh, I will never go through that stage in my life. You will. Every single one of us will go through it. Every one of us will go through those stages. You will go through those stages. So the best you can do is to prepare for it and to know what to do when you get through that stage. It's like a woman who is pregnant and say, I will not go through stage. You will go through the stage of labor. You will go through. The midwives will tell you the stages you will go through. The only difference is that it may not affect you much if you did what they ask you to do before you come to labor. Another thing is that how you handle each stage will determine what happens in your marriage. Now, these stages are so interesting that you will discover that some people get to stage one, they don't go beyond stage one and they crash out. Some people get to stage two, and that is where they crash out. In fact, studies have shown that a lot of marriages that end up in divorce, about 70% of marriages that end up in divorce end up in stage two. Many of them don't cross stage two. In fact, a lot of therapists will tell that if your marriage can cross that stage two, then there is higher hope that marriage will last forever. The another thing is that some people get shaken off in the stages, while some never feel it. Now, there are times when you talk to people about these stages, and some people feel like, I never went through it. It's not because they didn't go through it. It's because they handled it well that they did not really feel it. Some people go through it, they never really felt it, no drama, nothing serious. They just enjoyed their home. While some others get to some stages and it shook them. I will share some personal testimony experiences with you, and then I will share some stories about lovely people around me with you too. Then lastly is that, you see, marriage, when you get in, is totally different from how it looks before you get in. Now, this message is really for everyone. Now, for many people who are not yet married, this message is going to be very handy. This message is going to be very handy. For those of you that are already married, going through one stage or the other, it will be an eye opener. And for many of our people who have the experience, their grandfathers and all that, this should be very handy to be able to teach those coming and say, look, what you are going through is normal. So why is this message important? Why is this topic important? Why do we teach it? Why do we need to teach the coming generation? Why do we need to teach people who are just getting married, especially believers? Now, this message will be more to believers. So there are some things I'll be saying that intentionally I'll be talking about them because my focus is majorly on believers. Even the unbelievers and people are not Christians will also be blessed and be able to get wisdom out of it. So why do we teach this thing about understanding the different stages in marriage? Number one is that so that you can know that it is not the devil when you are going through that stage. It's one of the things we usually encounter is people come for counseling. Oh, I'm going through this. My wife is the devil's younger sister. My husband is the devil's uncle. Hey, she married. Oh, the man I married. Sometimes it may not be the devil. Oh, it is my people from the village. Sometimes it is just the normal stages of relationship or marriage that every one of us will go through. Sometimes, so when you understand, you know that, oh, it's not the devil. I'm at this stage of my marriage. Then these are the things I must be careful to do or not to do so I can survive this stage and go to the other stage. Number two, why this message is important is so that you will know what to do when you get there. So that you will know what to do when you get there. I remember some years ago, a brother came to me and he was complaining about some things his wife did, and I was laughing. And I would tell her, I said, my wife did the same thing. At some point, she was like, what are you saying? I said, go and ask so person. His wife did the same thing. Go and ask also person. His wife did the same thing. It's normal. You're at a stage in your marriage when these things begin to show. So I said, so bro, what I'm going to tell you is, what do we do about it? And I was able to explain to him. And so you see, the moment he understood that it is general, that everybody goes through it, it brought a relief. And when I told him what to do, he applied it and it worked. The marriage is still wonderful, beautiful now. Then lastly, so you can teach others when they get there. A lot of us, a lot of people listening to me, this message will be handy for you to know how to teach others when they get there. Now, I have a few more minutes. Let's quickly go through the stages. Now, if you Google or you go online, you search for different stages in marriages, you'll find interesting ideas, interesting opinions. Some people will tell you three, some people will tell you four, some will tell you five, many people will tell you seven stages. They are all right. Now, it depends on the angle from which you look at it and who you are talking with. But the truth is that whether we call it 7 or 5 or 15, many of these things are things that people have observed over years that every home, every marriage, every relationship will go through. If you determine today, to go into a relationship with someone or to get married to someone, and it's a commitment, a lifelong commitment, then be ready and know that your relationship will go through these stages. It's like saying, oh, I'm going from Ibadan to Lagos. There are towns I must pass. Oh, I'm going from Lagos to London. Whichever way I want to do it, there are ports, there are stations, there are countries I will fly over. You cannot escape. Like I said, you can't break these things off. Your marriage, your relationship will go through these stages. So today I'm going to be talking about 5 major stages that your relationship will go through. Now, I was discussing with a sister of mine yesterday, and she said, okay, I'm going to what? Which stage are you now, you and your wife? And I told her, I think we are so stage now. Now, the reality is that we've been through some stages, and we're still going through a stage, and we're still going to get to some stages. Now, it's not general to everyone that, okay, and this stage will take so amount of months or years, this stage, but I'm going to try as much as possible to explain to you, then you will determine which stage you are. Now, some of these things, some of you have been through, some of you that are married, you've probably been through some of these things during your courtship. Some of you had 2 or 3 relationships in the past, some of them crashed, and then you'll be able to understand, oh, that relationship crashed because you were at so stage and we did not handle it well. Now you are married, you will repeat everything, even though in another format. So let's start. Stage number 1 that your marriage will go through, your relationship, is the stage we call the romance stage. Some people call it love stage. I love to call it giz stage. You see, it's that stage when everything is bubbling. You just got married. Oh my God, levels. And you're so happy, you're so excited. It's a stage. You see, that stage doesn't last. Most times between 6 and 8 months or 10 months, you will cross that stage. You see that giz feeling with which you get mad. So what happens during that stage? Number 1, you feel on top of the world, especially women. That is where you want everybody to know that you are married. You have your ring. Levels have changed. You go to choir meeting and you want everybody to see your ring. Oh, I'm married. You always want to be together with this man. You always want to explore everything. Now everything seems, oh, this is the best. And you want everybody to know that marriage is sweet. My brother, my sister, it won't last. That's the reason why if you get married because of money or because of sex or whatever, it's within 2 weeks, that stage is gone. Especially for those who have been engaging in premarital sex or who are cohabiting. That stage doesn't cross more than 1 week to 2 weeks. But if you have never been doing that, within 6 months, 7 months, that level will go. Don't worry, it is normal. It is normal. At that level, you feel like you can tell each other anything. It feels like the whole world is looking at you, that you are the only ones on the app. You remember the euphoria of you just got married. Everything will be doing you gish. But listen to me, my brother. There are some things you must do at that stage, that you must take advantage to do at that stage, that will determine if you will cross to stage 2. It will determine how your stage 2 will look like. In fact, it will determine how the stage 7 or stage 5, whichever will look like. You see, the Bible says if the foundation be faulty, be destroyed, what can the righteous do? The reason why a lot of marriages do not last is because of how they handled the romance stage. You see, it's so beautiful, so wonderful, but you must be careful. In fact, I'm trusting God one of these days, I'm going to teach on. I'm really not sure of what to call the topic, but I found that and many people who are of age here will agree with me that a lot of times when people are having issues in their marriage, especially the marriage has been up to 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and they are having serious issues, whatever is the source of that issue can be traced back to the last 6 months of their courtship to the first 2 years. Within the last 6 months of their courtship and the first 2 years of the marriage, go and check it out. If your parents are having issues, or they are divorced or whatever, go and check out what has caused it. 90% of times, it has to do with things, mistakes or things that happen in the last 6 months before they got wedded and the first 2 years of their wedding. So when you are the romance stage, what do? Don't get carried away. It's like when you just got engaged to someone, you love the person, you just want to go to Tantalizer, you want to go to Eateries, and then we tell you, wait, while you're enjoying that, be careful. Be careful to do things that matter to build the foundation. So what do you do at this romance stage? Number one, it is time to build communication and friendship. My brother, my sister, listen. There are three major pillars that make every home strong: communication, finances, and sex. The most important is communication. Now, the reason why a lot of marriages don't cross to the next stage is because they did not take advantage of this euphoria at the romance stage to build a solid friendship. Guys, to build a solid friendship, to build communication. Now, it is a time when you stay away from any distraction. The distraction can be your bestie, the distraction can be your television, the distraction can be your family members who do not understand that you are now married, you should be detached from them. The distraction can be your friends. Now, that is why when we give the marriage vow, you make the vow that you will leave every other to cleave. There cannot be a cleaving without a living. It is a time when you make concrete future plans. You see why you are that excited. It is intentional. You are enjoying every moment. It is a time when you make concrete plans for your life. This is what you are going to do. We are going to achieve this in the next 5 years. We are going to achieve this in the next 10 years, because at that moment, you worry. You have great ability to listen. But guys, listen to me. It is a time when you build solid communication. I remember a sister some years ago. She might be listening to this too. She just got married, and I shared these things with her. That was about 14 years ago. And she did something. I mean, she and her husband, they took conscious effort to build solid communication for their marriage. In fact, sometimes we'll be together, maybe in church or somewhere, or at work, and I'll say something, and right there and then, she will pick her phone and call her husband and say, honey, in fact, we have gist. There is gist when I get home. Mr. Detola just told me something. And that one over the phone, we'll meet too. I have gist for you. Something happened in the office. Okay, let's wait when we get home. Beautiful marriage. Listen, if you are married and you don't enjoy communication, there is trouble. And you know one major reason why a lot of marriages get destroyed is because they miss this first stage. And many people miss this first stage because of this thing in my hand, phone. This thing has destroyed many homes. Now, it's even not about cheating and all that, but it's a forceful distraction that destroys the communication life at the beginning stage. And guys, listen to me. I'm sorry to say this, but it's the truth. I found out that when people miss this opportunity at the romance stage, they may never recover from it. They may never. Because before you know, you go to second stage, third stage, life will not wait for you. Children have come, these have come, and because you never built a solid communication and friendship life in the first stage of your marriage, you may never catch up with it again. Then suddenly you move to stage 2. Like I told you, within 6 months, you are moved to stage 2. In fact, studies have shown that a lot of people enter stage 2 within the first 2 years. And that is why a great magnitude of marriages that fail in the first 2 years. Because you enter the second stage within 2 years. And that is one of the toughest stages of marriages. And because many people did not prepare for it, it hits them, boom, and then they just separate. What is the second stage called? The second stage is called reality stage. Yeah. That is when I should be clear. You know, they say, love is blind. Marriage opens his eyes. And marriage doesn't open it at romance stage. It opens it at the reality stage. That is when suddenly you just look at the woman you are married. I married this one. You look at the man you are married. Hey, was I blind? Was I hypnotized? So I married this one. Because at that stage, you begin to see each other's weaknesses and mindset. That is when you begin to see each other's weaknesses. Be like, this man is just handsome. He's so disorganized. That is when you look at the woman and say, oh, this woman is just beautiful, but she is a god. She is so stubborn. That is when you begin to see different mindset. You begin to see a man who is a believer, is born again, but his mindset is that unless things are spoiled in the house, or a man says, it is a lazy woman that uses washing machine. And the woman is like, that is when the man, you now realize that this man is born again, spirit filled, but he's bossy. That is when you realize that this woman is born again. She's a minstrel, but her mouth, oh no, wow. When she begins to talk like this, you feel like committing suicide. It is a stage. At that stage, you begin to fight a lot. At that stage, you begin to wish you are married to someone else. My brother, my sister, listen. We all went through that stage. It's a stage you will go through. But the question is, when you get to that stage, what should you do? My brother, my sister, don't rush to say you want to go for divorce. Oh, be careful what you say at that stage. Now, that's the reason why a lot of times in marriages, people refer back to what she said this to me 18 years ago. He said that to me 25 years ago. Go and check it out. It's usually at this second stage, the reality stage, when things boom, and then you're beginning to see the real person you are married to. Be careful with the words you say. I regret marrying you. Hey, be careful. I wish I never married. Hey, I wish I married my ex. Hey, be careful. So what do you do at this stage? Number one, that is when you activate the act of listening to understand. One of these days, I trust God when we'll be able to look at communication in marriage. Communication is not about talking to, it's about talking with. And it's so deep. So this is when you activate how to listen. Listening is different from hearing. Listening, when somebody says, I don't like this thing you are doing hurts me, how do you internalize it, even when you don't feel it, so that you can respond adequately? That is when you make sure you never report each other to your families. Make sure you never, ever report each other to your family. There are times when there could be conflicts, there could be issues that make you feel like, Mommy, don't make that mistake. Because you will cross that stage. You will forget. Your family and people who have heard will not forget. And they won't forgive. At that stage, if needed, you may need to speak to a counselor. Many times the stage when you have to talk to counselors. You see, there is this mindset that, when I get married, there will be no third party. A counselor is not a third party. Talking to your pastor is not a third party. A friend may be a third party. Family members could be third party. When you discover that you can't resolve it, talk to a counselor. Now, one of the challenges people have in marriages is because by the time the pastors and people, you begin to hear things, a lot would have been destroyed. They've hurt each other, they've wounded each other, and sometimes there may not be remedy. Be careful. But if you need to talk to someone, talk to an unbiased counselor. The next one is that make conscious effort to change for. I wish I could stay on that for more time, but I don't have enough time. That is when you make conscious effort to change for. That is when you make conscious effort to listen. Listening is not obeying. Listening does not mean you obey. You listen to understand so that you can respond adequately. Then make efforts to change for. You see, changing in marriage is not changing from bad to good. Changing in marriage is changing for. That, I don't say anything wrong in this, but because it hurts you, or because this is what you want, I will change for you as long as it does not change my own essence of life. You see, many of the things that cause fight at this stage are things you can change for the other person. But ego, pride, stubbornness, and all that usually make people not want to change. And before they know what's going on, they move to the third stage. And many people fall off during this second stage. Go and check it out. First 2-3 years is a stage in many marriages crash because one or the two of them is not intelligent. If one or the two of them will change for, they will pass through that stage without any trouble. Then I discovered that couples who enjoy talking, who have developed the act of communication, they pass through the second stage and they don't feel it. Then suddenly you go to the third stage. If you can escape the second stage, then you go to the third stage. What happens in the third stage? The third stage is the stage we call the stability stage. Now, a lot of couples usually go through this within the first 10 years. A lot of marriages go through within the first 10 years. Now, this is the stage where everything is peaceful. Sometimes we call it the plateau state. The plateau state, climbing marriage is like you go up like, and then you get to a point, you plateau and everything is going smoothly. At that moment, everything is peaceful, everything is normal, everything is routine. We wake up in the morning, we bath for the children, we prepare food, we go to work, we come back in the evening, we go for Bible study, we come back home, we visit friends, we do go for a party, we go to work, we come home, we go to church, we go to work, we come home. Everything becomes a routine. So because of that, at that moment, there is no drama, nothing serious, no romance. And sometimes that stage can be boring. That stage can be pretty boring because nothing really to look forward to. And that is why I said in stage one, make your plans. Now, people who made plans in stage one, who had plans, will do this, when they get to that plateau state, they have things to do and they don't feel bored. They don't feel bored. They just move through that stage normally, smoothly. But people who never did those things in stage one, by the time they get to stage three, that is when drama starts. They are not really fighting anymore. But that is the time usually when strange men and women come into the marriage, that is the time you hear that Daddy Lagbaja is having an affair, Mommy Lagbaja is getting uncomfortably close to this person, and this person because everybody now, everything is boring. That is the time when a lot of men say they are not enjoying their wives anymore. A lot of women will just be complaining, I'm not enjoying this man anymore. They want something spicy. And many times the devil takes advantage of that time to bring in strange men and strange women. So when you are at the third stage, the plateau state or the stability stage, what do you do? I remember I told you usually spans about 10 years. By then, children have been coming. The couple already have three children. They're already doing well, and the man is having promotion in his work. The wife is having this. The wife has achieved this. They have cars. They have this. Things are becoming stable. What do you do? Don't just think everything is going normally. Now, a lot of times, a lot of marriages break off at this stage because something dramatic happens. Like I told you, maybe a strange woman comes in, strange man comes in, and it's a big shock to the woman. So that the Lagbaja can do this, and they're like, and then they break down and they can't take it. So that some things will not happen, so that you don't get fed up. Is at that time a lot of women will say, I outgrew my husband. Well, let's not go into that today. It's very unintelligent statement. You outgrew the man. Oh no, marriage is not for competition. It's a marriage. It's not even team. It's a marriage, it's a union, it's a oneness, one flesh. So what do you do at this stage? Number one, make conscious and feasible progress. You see, at this moment, make conscious and feasible progress. This is the time when you may have to go for your master, you may have to begin to build your house. You see, what makes this stage interesting is that you are busy doing things outside the routine. That is when you go for outings, you go for vacations. You see, some years ago, some women were speaking with me, and about 5 of them, and they were making some complaints. And all of them, were at the same stage. They got married around the same times. And I'm going to tell them their mistake. And one of them said, my husband, sometimes he will be coming from work and he will buy this. I say, with the money we should have used to buy soup at home. And then one say, hey, my husband will say, I should follow him for a party. I should follow him to a club. And I will say, I will not go. I say, hey, sister, you are making a big mistake. You are making a big mistake. Your husband is asking you to go to cinema, to follow him to cinema, leave the children at home, let's go to cinema. And at that moment you feel, and the money we should have used, the money for soup is different. The money for school fees is different. This is money for enjoyment with my spouse. And I warned them. And then, I'm not sure, I wasn't sure they listened. Then one of them came back like a week later and told me something. She actually told me that her husband was always angry. Go out with me. Let's go out. Let's go. There's this place they used to go and eat pepper soup and all that, guys, with his friends. He said, come with me, come. And I told her, go with him. She went with him one day and she came back and said, Mr. Adetola, you just saved my marriage. I said, what happened? She said she got there and she saw this man, the husband, and about 7 other friends. 7 other friends, his male friends were there. She said, sir, my husband was the only one that came with his wife, and. And all the other guys came with their side chicks. You see, all the other guys came with their side chicks. She said, my husband was the only one that came with his wife. I said, can you see what I was telling you? I can bet that all those other women too, all those men, their wives too, must have been given excuses. And those men decided to come with, because I'm taking too much time. Let's not, I won't give you more details. But listen to me at that moment. That's not the time to say, man, my husband is wasteful. If he's spending it on you, enjoy it. Enjoy it. Yes, some men could be spending it. You say for him, you do that, but that's not the time to complain. He wants to have fun. Let it be with you. He wants to go on vacation. Let it be with you. Don't say I'm the quiet type. You can't afford to be quiet at that time. Go on vacation. Travel with him. If he tells you let's go and sleep in a hotel for weekend, don't say no. Go with him. God will provide another money. Let him spend it on you rather than, you understand what I'm saying? And sometimes it could be some men too. Probably the man is phlegmatic and you fear everyone's the big, hey, and your wife keeps complaining. Your wife keeps complaining, I'm bored. I don't like this thing. And this, and you are stubborn. That is when a lot of homes break. And then a side chick, a side cock comes in, and before you know what's going on, things have escalated. Don't say it doesn't happen to believers. Yes, it happens to believers. These are things we say every day. It should not, but it does. Then after that, then you go to another stage. Now, this stage is the stage 4. Very interesting too. We call this stage the power tussle stage. Now, remember that during the plateau stage, during the stability stage, everybody is developing. Oh, my sister, the wife has become a principal. The husband has become manager somewhere. Things are taking shape. You build house. You are becoming successful. You are becoming uncles now. And then you get to a point where we call it the power tussle stage. What happens at this stage is that this is the stage when you have what a lot of people go into self-discovery. That's some people now realize they don't know. There are these dreams I've always wanted to achieve since I was a child that I could not achieve. I had this vision. Oh, I had this plan. It was because of marriage. I had this. And that is when they now have the ability to fulfill their dreams. At that stage, each person have become powerful. And most times the wife have outgrown their husband. She now earns more. Are you getting what I'm saying? Now, between 10 years, 12 years, 13 years, 15 years, she's not earning more. The children are now grown. You are not doing school runs anymore. You now have more time to yourself to do a lot of things. And at that stage, each person will now want different things. And then there will be power tussle. That is the stage the wife will say, I want to travel abroad. And the husband will say, I'm not going abroad. The husband will say, I want to go for one course. I want to, and the wife will say, no, I'm not going. At that moment, you now usually have differing opinions, differing visions and desires, and then there will be power tussle. Guys, a lot of homes get destroyed at this stage. So when you get to that stage, what do you do? My brother and my sister, it is very, very simple. Very, very simple. You see, how you handle that stage, power tussle stage, will be dependent on how you handle stage 1, romance stage. It will be highly dependent on how bonded you are. It will be highly dependent on your level of bonding, on your level of communication, on your level of friendship. If you had always been friends at that moment, you will go through that stage easily and you won't feel anything. But if you have been patching, you've been patching in stage. If you cement Mumbi, if you block Mumbi, you are patching in stage. Then when you get to that stage, you may not stand the storm. So what do you do normally at that stage? Very simple. Let one of you submit to the other. That is the stage when your sacrifice should be requested. Remember, I did not say let the wife submit to the husband. Let one of you submit to the other. One of you must submit, must let go. One of you must let go. Otherwise, that marriage is gone. At this stage, one of you must submit. I met a very lovely couple when I was in UK some years ago. And one day we were talking, the husband, the wife. The wife is actually my friend, very lovely woman. The husband, very wonderful, intelligent. I love that family. And the brother told me, well, they were just joking and said, do you know I never wanted to come here? It's my wife. I just found out she wanted to travel, she wanted to come here, blah, blah, blah. No, that, not the point. Just okay. Let me do it for her. And we just laughed over it until the wife told me how much the husband was collecting in Nigeria. At the time the husband agreed that they should move to the UK, the husband's salary was about ₦1 million. They were comfortable. They were rich in Nigeria. But the wife had always had desire. The marriage was around 14 years, so they were already in that stage to go to school in UK to, and the husband had to leave all of that for the sake of the happiness of his wife. I respected that man. I've seen homes where I wish I could share stories with you, but I don't like to, so that I don't look like bridge of confidence or I've seen homes where just simple things as, oh, I want to start this business. You will not start it. I want to, you will not do it. And the next thing, the home is gone. The power subtle stage will shake you. But the solution is let one of you submit to the other. And that is the time when you leverage your relationship. That is the time when friends, church, family, and all that will save your marriage. Not because you are reporting to them, but because you are bonded in church, you are bonded to friends, you are bonded to other people, and they will be the cushion and the saving grace for you. Because of time, then you go to the last one. I told you 5. Now, there are many things I wish I could say. We don't have the time, like I told you. Just 30 minutes. I've overshot my time. I will soon begin to round off. I wish I could say, but because of time. So the last stage 5, like I told you, some people will give you 7, 6, 3. They will all be right too. But the last one that is common to everyone, if you can survive stage 1, your marriage can survive stage 2, your marriage can survive stage 3, can survive stage 4. Like I told you, all these things happen in relationships too. Courtship. In fact, a lot of relationship break in stage 3, stability stage. That is the stage when everything has become normal. You've been courting for 4, 5 years. Everything has become normal. Then suddenly the sister goes for service, youth service, and meet someone else. And this is better than the one at home. It's the major reason why a lot of relationships break when people go for service. Because you're at the plateau state, you just meet someone else that steers your emotions. You now feel the person you just met is better than the one you left. Listen, even if you leave the former one and you start this new one, you will still start afresh and go through the stages again. That is the major reason why a lot of people who break their relationships in courtship, during service year, and get engaged to someone else, get into relationship with someone else, still fail. A lot of times, 80% of time, that relationship they started during service year too will not last because they did not develop what it takes to cross the second stage. So when they get to the third stage with that other person, it also gets destroyed. So the last stage is the stage we call the acceptance stage. Some people call it the emptiness, the acceptance stage. This is the stage you get to when all the children are gone. Everything has changed. It has remained the two of you. They've gotten married, they've gone to school. It now remains the two of you. Guys, this is one of the most dangerous stages in marriage. You know why? Because at that moment, you're already tired of fighting and correcting. You've corrected and corrected. The person did not change. You fought and fought and fought. The person did not change. Want to marry there? They've constantly called. This has happened. That what has happened. You've gone through turbulence. You've gone through different times. At that stage, you already see what you call kamu. So at that stage, you are alone again. The two of you are alone again. At that stage, you realize your partner can't change. That's the stage you get when you realize that this person is not going to change. She has changed in this area, that area. She's not going to change in this area. So you are set. This man has changed this area, but this area of stubbornness, this man has not changed. This area of womanizing, this man is not going to change. The only thing that you just accept. That is the stage you tell some women, hey, I saw your husband. Your husband is cheating. He carry one girl. You are tired. You are tired. Oh, your wife did this. Leave her. If you know some secrets, some of us know. If you share them online, some of those things will feel like exaggeration. You see, a lot of times, sorry to say this, women are quick to come out and say, oh, my husband cheats. My husband. Do you know how many men know that their wives cheat and do not divorce? Do you know how many marriages where the man knows that the wife, one of the children does not belong to him, and they never tell? Imagine the pain the man has to go through. Or the woman knows and still covering the nakedness of the man. So, that stage is often characterized with loneliness and regret. That is the stage where the power has gone, the strength has gone. Now, if you are not taking care of stage one, stage two, stage three, that is when you become lonely. You know, one of the most painful thing in marriage is when you are at home and you still want to go home. Should I say that again? One of the most painful things is when you are at home and you still want to go home. When you are at home and you are still missing home. When you are at home and you are still feeling lonely. You are with your partner and you are lonely. Many couples in old age are like that. They are living together. They still wear and coat. They are grandparents. But when they come home, they don't talk. They don't talk. I've seen many like that. In old age, they are still sleeping in two different rooms. Just like flatmates. The only time when they talk is, "Yeah, I'm ready. Are you ready?" "Yes, I'm ready." "Okay. Meet me in the car." They get to places, they laugh, they come home, everything becomes silent. Be careful, brother and sister. Be careful how you handle your stage one, your stage two, your stage three, your stage four. You see that the marriage is destroyed, it's not just because people end up in divorce. When people get to a point where you want to go home and you are sad, you rather stay back at work or somewhere than go home. Not because there is turbulence, but sometimes because it is lonely. So at that stage, what do you do? Nothing. Nothing much. So what do you do at that stage? Number one, you just accept reality and what you have created. This is the kind of marriage I've created. Accept it. When you were younger, you enjoy around. Your wife is lonely at home. She's crying. You are not. Even when you sometimes a lot of pastors make that mistake. You enjoy ministering around. You are the one ministering all over the world. The woman is all alone at home, and after time, she gets used to life without you. And then when you retire and everything, you are now you're 50, you're 60, the woman is not there anymore. That is when usually you hear a lot of men say, "Hey, Yalabaja is not taking care of me. She's always going to church." And that's the church has always been getting succor when you are not at home. "Oh, my husband is killing her. My husband is-" That is the place he had always been when you were stubborn. He had found succor in that place. And now she doesn't know, or he doesn't know you exist anymore. So you just accept. And if you have built a beautiful marriage, accept it and enjoy it. Then enjoy available fruits of your marital labor. Enjoy the available fruits. The fruits you have created, just enjoy it. There is nothing you can do. And lastly, you enjoy the company of family and friends and relatives that you have built over years. So, brethren, listen to this as a roundup. You will all go through these stages. Remember, stage one is the romance stage, stage two is the reality stage, stage three is the stability stage, stage four is the power tussle stage, stage five is the acceptance stage. At that moment, you just accept everything. The Lord will bless you. I know the Lord will keep your home. And remember, it takes more than prayer to build a home. It takes wisdom. It takes wisdom. It takes wisdom. And I pray that the Lord will give you the wisdom you need to build the best of marriages, to enjoy your home, to fulfill your marriage. The Lord will help you. So, like I said, you may want to share this, you may want to download it, you may want to listen to it over and over. You may need to share it with people who are just getting, especially those who are just getting married, those who are planning to get married in the next 2 weeks, the next 1 month. Share it with them. Let them know. It will reduce going to counselors. It will reduce going to prayer mountain to come to pray against the demon in your wife or your husband. The Lord be with you. God bless you. I hope to see you again next week when we're going to look at another beautiful and interesting topic. Till then, have a fulfilling week. God bless you.